Alright guys, so this fanfiction idea was another one that was voted on over on Patreon, and as always, if you guys would like to be part of those polls that affect videos here on YouTube as well as over there on Patreon, just hit the link in the description box below, head on over to my Patreon, hit the first tier, that'll allow you access to do so, as well as check out episode and movie reviews that have been coming out. I am thinking of doing Ironheart. All the episode reviews of Andor are on there. I did my reviews of Daredevil Born Again. I don't know if I'm going to do Predator Killer of Killers review on there. I might. I think I'm leaning towards maybe, but who knows? We'll see how that goes. But anyway, getting back to this. So this one was much like I voted for I asked you guys to vote for a three-way crossover last time, which the winner was Sinners, Blackula, and Nosferatu. But before that, there was a versus fanfiction. And that versus fanfiction, this one won by, like, flying colors. And this is one I've been wanting to do for the longest time. Zim versus Thanquol. So, yeah, it's a crossover. It's a Warhammer Invader Zim crossover, having Zim do battle at war with Lord Thanquol. Because when I started reading Warhammer Fantasy, Thanquol is just Zim. He's a slightly more competent, way more deranged Zim. That's exactly what he is. He is just Zim with magic, and slightly more competent. Keyword, slightly. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. So the story begins with Zim building another crazy contraption. This time around, he believes that he can forge a new kind of weapon from material outside of this universe. And he's just Gur's like, that seems overly complicated, and it seems like also a plot you would use for contrivance. Silence! So Zim builds this machine, and Gur's like, so how do you know which universe you get to go to? What? I don't know. I just kind of built the thing. That's just Zim's response. He just built it, so now he's just like, well, let's just see if it works or not. So Zim and Gur go through this portal, and they end up in the Warhammer Fantasy universe. They end up there, and they are immediately the place they arrived in is Skavenblight, and the thing they come upon is Warpstone. So Zim scans it, and he's like, this could be useful. So he and Gur basically steal some Warpstone, go back to their universe real fast before any of the Skaven find it, and they experiment on it. And it turns out Warpstone is not only really unstable, but also really powerful. But Zim's technology is way more advanced than your typical Skaven, Greyseers and the magic and machinery that the Skaven have right now. So it's able to contain a lot more, contain the unstable energy that the Warpstones have. So in here, so in this whole event, Zim gets the idea of like, I must have this Warpstone. So Zim goes back to that universe, and as he's like trying to harvest a bigger Warpstone, that's when like a flash of green energy strikes him, and that's when, why you try to take my Warpstone stone? And it's Thanquol. Thanquol basically, this wasn't just any Warpstone cache. This was Thanquol's private cache of Warpstones that he was kind of keeping off to the side, and when he found out someone had stolen it, he was waiting for them. He was thinking it was like Icket Claw or Skrulk or someone of importance. He didn't think it was and at first he thinks Zim is like a goblin, and he's like, Zim is no goblin. You dare use the G word? That's offensive. So Zim and Thanquol get into a fight, and Zim is holding his own. Zim's like zipping around. He's like crawling all over the walls, and Thanquol's like trying to blast him. And Thanquol's like, hold still so I can kill slay you. And Zim is like, why would I stay still to be killed? That doesn't seem like a great order. And Thanquol just stops for a minute and goes, I see point. but tries to blast him anyway. Eventually, though, Zim actually uses like the blaster. He puts his legs together to make an energy blast that strikes Thanquol, and Thanquol's like, "Why am I fighting? You, Bone Ripper, get him!" And Zim's like, "Bone Ripper," and that's when Bone Ripper comes busting through and attacks Zim, and Zim gets attacked, and he summons Gur, and Gur comes flying out like, "Yes, my master," and comes flying through the portal and starts attacking Bone Ripper's face, and Bone Ripper's trying to desperately get him off, but Gur at this point's like, "Oh yeah, we're playing the annoying game." By this point, Thanquol has kind of figured out that Zim's not from around here. He notices the portal, and he's like, "Okay, I don't know where you're." He's like, "I don't know where you're from, but I'm gonna figure it out." So Thanquol goes through the portal, and Zim chases after him, while Bone Ripper, still being attacked by Gur, goes stumbling after them. Thanquol and Bone Ripper are now in Zim's universe, and Thanquol is like in awe of Zim's base, and he's just like, "With this, I could kill Slay Council of 13 and become better than Great Horn Rat." And that's when he hears like the sky like a strike of lightning. He's like, "I take that back. Second best to Great Horn Rat." So Thanquol makes the decision to try to steal Zim's technology, but of course Zim's not going to allow that. So the two continue to fight. Meanwhile, Dib is above ground trying to sneak into Zim's base, but the battle between Zim and Thanquol is like going just absolutely insane. And it's causing like the ground underneath Dib's feet to shake. Zim eventually Zim and Thanquol's fight goes up into the house, and a huge just blast of energy just destroys half of Zim's house, and Dib is just like, "There's rat people now?" Zim comes in and is like, "Dib, human, I require your assistance. I need your help with the giant head." He's like, "No, Zim, I'm not going to help you. Too late!" And just grabs Dib and hucks him at Thanquol, and uses him just knocks Thanquol in the head, and he's like, "Oh, stupid big head human." And he's like, "My head's not that big." So Zim and Thanquol are fighting it out, but meanwhile, Gur and Bone Ripper are back at the base, and now they're just sharing like chocolate. Like Gur is giving Bone Ripper like a thing of chocolate, and Bone Ripper's just like, we can be friends now." But of course, Zim and Thanquol, on the other hand, are just completely trying to massacre one another. It's at one point where Zim grabs Thanquol's staff, and he's like, "You don't know how to use control magic." And Zim's like, "Ugh, your voice is annoying. Why do you talk like that? I am speak normal. You're the one with shrill baby voice." Zim is no infant. And just starts whapping him with. When he tries to use the magic from the staff, it doesn't work because he's not a Grayseer. So instead, Zim's just like, spoot it, and just starts whapping Thanquol with the staff, just repeatedly, just starts beating on him. And Thanquol's just like, stop, desist, I do not like. Until eventually he grabs the staff and just starts whapping him with Zim with it. He's like, "How do you enjoy this, huh?" But of course, as the fight's just spiraling out of control, Zim eventually the fight goes back to the base, and eventually Zim tries to reopen the portal, get them through. But unfortunately, during this whole battle, the fight in Zim's base caused the warpstone samples that Zim had taken, and with it, the jostling around and damage to the base has caused the warpstone to start become really unstable. So once the two combatants make it back into the base, that's when the warpstone goes off, creates an energy flash, and knocks Thanquol and Bone Ripper back to their universe and blows up Zim's base, causing countless amount of damage. Zim declares victory for Zim over the rat freaks. Meanwhile, Thanquol is just like, yes, perfect plan scheme worked. I have vanquished the Zim creature, and now he will never return. And Bone Ripper's just like, missing chocolate. So yeah, both of them, in typical fashion, both think of themselves as the victor in this fight, and just laugh to themselves maniacally. So there you go, guys. That is Zim versus Thanquol. I want to thank everyone who voted on this one. This one just kind of won by a landslide, and I'm pretty glad it did. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this crossover? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.